Hey guys, it's SimCity504 here, and welcome to a house build of Oceanside 35. This house is a little bit of a modern house and a seaside house, and it was originally going to be a seaside house, but it ended up being a seaside house. I was building the foundation and the walls, and I was actually trying to figure out how should I put the roof? And of course you could see me here messing with the roof. And then I changed it and I decided to do a flat roof. But I decided to change that since it didn't look right with all the other houses that were next to it, which I'll probably destroy later and make a house video of. But I decided to do something small and not so big. And I didn't want to cram anything in it. And this house doesn't have a lot of landscaping just because it didn't look right with the colors of the house. And the windows, I had a hard time choosing the windows because even though I do have a lot of custom content, it is hard at times to choose windows because the shape of the house, it just looks weird with some of the windows, because if I have like a weird window, then the shape of the house will look funny. So I had to choose windows that looked right for the house, and I didn't want to add too many windows either. And I really thought I did, but then in the end I actually thought there wasn't going to be enough windows for the house, but I didn't want to add a whole bunch of windows, and I didn't want to add more windows. So like the front of the house could have used a little bit more windows, but I didn't want it to be a house full of windows because it would have just looked weird. But everything fell into place perfectly, and I had to move out the walls because the roof, I wanted the roof to be covered, not falling, not coming out all the way down, so there was, it just looked weird if it wasn't attached to something. And I put 2 palm trees outside just because the other houses had palm trees and we were right there on the beach, and I couldn't really use the other trees because it would just look weird in the front of the house when we're living on a beachfront property. Also with the landscaping, I didn't use sand or dirt, but I had a hard time choosing the colors and which colors I wanted to use since we were on the beach. And I think I ended up taking off those flowers, or I might have added a different color. I'm not sure. I do know I added red. Those red, I think they're rose bush. I added those in the back, and I actually changed them. I think I added like a pink and not red. I can't remember what the name of the plant was, but I think I ended up changing it red. And also with the detailing or the interior, or I don't know, just building the house was just difficult because I had to figure out where I was going to put all of the rooms because the house has a weird layout. Yeah, I was working on the layout, that's what it is. And it was just, I didn't want to have anything open because it was just going to look kind of weird. I didn't want an open floor plan either. So, and also because the stairs, I couldn't use the regular stairs, so I had to use the spiral stairs, because if I added the other stairs, then the rooms would be too small, I think, upstairs. So I'm surprised and I'm happy that the spiral, I don't want to call it spiral, that was the TV show. The spiral stairs worked out great. And also I wanted to stay within like the colors with the other houses, because I think the other house on the other side is like white, so I just added like the white and blue. And I didn't want to change the blue of the house because I just thought it looked great. I just loved that color blue because it's almost like a blue-gray, and the white. And I was going to change this here, but I added it back since the blue, like there's white lining on there's white siding on the house, so I just kept it white. So I wanted to do everything white white wood because I thought that the wood was great for it. And I do end up turning the brick into blue, the blue here. But it had the white siding, so I had to change that. Or no, did I leave it like that? Or, I might have, yeah, I did. Okay. And I left the roof black because I just thought it was going to look better. I didn't want to use a white roof because it was going to look weird to me, I thought. And this fence, I ended up taking the fence away and adding a white picket fence because putting a fence, since the other house had a fence, I decided to add a fence from the other house because I just thought it looked weird without a fence for some reason. So I just went with the small white picket fence because I thought it looked, but I think originally the house really didn't need a fence, but the fence just made the house better. And I guess if I do destroy the other houses and add stuff, it will look more into place and not out of place. Because I didn't want to make an out of place house. But I wanted to make a house that was small and that was on the beach. So, yeah, that was great. I chose that idea. So I was adding all the doors to the rooms, and I don't know why those 2 doors are like still, I don't know. But I had a hard time putting the walls to the kitchen because I didn't want the kitchen to be so big and then there was just going to be an open gap. So I was trying to work around it, but it ended up not working properly. So I do take that gigantic wall space out and making the kitchen smaller. But that also caused the problem for the living room that the living room's not really like a living room. It has a TV and a seating area in there, but it's just a small house and I didn't want to make it big because I'm used to working with a lot of space. And of course, I brought the blue from the outside of the house inside because I wanted the house to be like originally blue and white, but that didn't happen throughout the house since I wanted to add like different colors to the house. But most of the stuff is blue and white. And I was talking, yeah. So since the kitchen is smaller and I had a problem with like the room on the left because it was just so big and I didn't know what to add in there, but like I was saying before, I'm used to working with a lot of space, and then I end up having too much space or not enough space. And having too much space is just difficult to work with because if I just want to cram a lot of stuff in one place, it just doesn't look right. So that's why the house is not over-designed and some of the walls are left plain because it really would not make any sense for me to put anything else. So I think the living room, this area here, the entranceway, it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. Because I knew if I added more stuff to like the walls, it would make the house, like the inside of the house look weird. And I didn't want that to happen. So I just went with plain and not adding so much stuff. Same thing with the rooms. I didn't want to overkill the rooms with designs or anything. So I just left it kind of plain. Like the wall colors were just going to speak for themselves. And also because I didn't have enough space in all of the rooms, because I think this is actually the first house I made that was actually, well, except for, I made this other house, but it was a small house, like a starter home, but I used so much custom content, and the custom content was a lot, so it really wasn't a starter home, but it was a small house. But this is the first house that I made that was actually, that looked big, but was small on the inside, so I actually had a hard time working with this. Overall, I am happy with the way that the house turned out, and I wouldn't want it any bigger. I think the size is great, even though I think this house has, I forgot to count the bedrooms. It's either 4 or 5 bedrooms or more, because I remember one of the bedrooms turned into something else. So it's just like, either the house is not big enough for that many Sims, but a few of the rooms are just going to be like guest rooms, like the rooms downstairs, which you will see in a minute. And the house was going to have 1 bathroom when I found out that there was only going to be 1 bathroom in the house. So I added 1 bathroom downstairs, which you'll see. And I think there was 2 bathrooms upstairs because I thought if there was that many rooms in the house that Sims needed to have a bathroom. And especially like if this house, if I use it to entertain or have Sims or parties, people need a bathroom downstairs. And it was originally going to be a bathroom for one room, but it wasn't. So I just added a door in the kitchen way because I didn't want them to walk through a room to get to the bathroom. So I'd rather have them walk through the kitchen, which is just a weird place to have a bathroom because I don't know many people who have a bathroom that's right next to their kitchen, or maybe I don't know them at all. But yeah, I had to put the bathroom over there since that little awkward space is right there. Because of the column I have outside, or the design is more, it's like an L-shaped, in a backwards L-shaped, so I had a hard time working with that. And it wasn't easy. And of course, and plus I didn't want to do the same colors with all of the rooms, which I originally planned to, because I thought that the house would be boring if the colors were just all the same. Even though I loved the blue and white, I just decided to add some stuff in because I didn't have a lot of time to sit there and like code all the colors in, and the house would just look bland. I mean, if I had some colorful lights, it would look good, but I just decided to stick with like yellows and whites and like browns because I think it was just going to be easier for me to do it that way. And so here I was working on both of the rooms, just deciding which colors I should add. And I actually cannot remember which colors I had. But I do know one room was blue, and this room ends up having a twin bed because I could not fit anything else with the double bed right there, because this room is, I think it's the smallest room in the house because I added the bathroom downstairs and I didn't have a lot of space to work with it, so I just left the room kind of plain. I added some design to the bed, which you can see here, and I do add a few pictures. I'm actually not sure how many pictures I added, but I did add some pictures, and I had to change the room around a lot to see what would work, and I didn't over-design it either, even though my mind was thinking, oh, I gotta put more stuff, I have to put more stuff, but I decided not to overkill the room and just add a few pictures, which would have been great anyways. So I changed the bed, the side of the bed, and the side of the, yeah, I think that's all in this room, actually. Yeah, I did change that side, so the dresser is on a different side, and I added those 2 dresser drawers things to fill in those spaces because I didn't want the room to be empty. And I think that was it with that room. And then I moved to this room, and this room has a double bed, and I think, no. Yeah, this room was easier to work with since I had more space, but the colors, I really didn't know what I was doing with the colors because the curtains are blue. They're light blue and they're white. And I forgot to put a curtain right there in that window. Oh well. But yeah, it was just weird because the floor, I think, is like gray. And then the walls were supposed to be white, but I got too lazy, I think, and I didn't change the cream. So these are the 2 bathrooms upstairs. One is more of a pink color, but it's like a pink that's almost gray. And the other one is a blue-gray. Because, I wanted to have the same style of bathroom, but since I had custom content that had those in different colors, I decided to go with both the blue and the pink because it just looked better. And I didn't really use any custom design in the bathroom, except for, I think I added the mirror, and maybe the sink was custom. I think it was. And the countertops were custom, and I added custom content in there. But, like, the toilet and the shower bath really isn't, It was just the only thing that was gonna fit, because I wasn't able to put a bath and a shower in there, even though if I wanted to have both or just a shower, since usually when I put the Sims, my Sims use the shower and not the bath, unless it's like a day where they don't have work or school. And I added the same style of design inside the other bathroom, but since this bathroom was smaller, I just added one countertop. And I had to work with that, because I didn't want to make the bathroom bigger, because if the bathroom was made a little bit bigger, then the bedrooms would be smaller. Even though if I could have put the bathroom in like a bigger room, but it's a bathroom, and if I put the bathroom in a bigger room, it will just be overkill by me. So I just, tried to work with what I had, since I decided to challenge myself to work with a smaller house and not a lot of space, which I ended up doing quite well, I believe. And in this room, it's like a room that has an office in it. I mean, just because I wanted to fill in the place, and I didn't want to have like a dresser there in that corner every time. And because I made it like that, I could have made it bigger, but that would have meant that I had to change the design of the house, and I didn't want to do that, because I thought that the house looked great. But sometimes the house looks great on the outside, and on the inside it's a little bit tricky to work with, but if you just design it properly, it will look fine. And I didn't want to add like a rug in here in the rooms, because at first I thought that a rug would look great, but it didn't, because the rugs were just so oversized. I don't have any custom content that really has a small rug, so I didn't add any rugs, except for I might have added a rug in this room, because this room was, of course, black and white and gray. I think that the wallpaper is like a cream, or it might be white, but I love black and white and gray together and things like that. So I just decided to add a black rug in here, because I don't know, usually I say to myself that black and white things and gray things are my strongest point in designing, and it really is, because I'm so inspired by the color. It just makes me want to keep building black and white. But I know I can't do that with every single room, but every time when I have a black and white and gray or something in a room, I know what to do automatically. I just love it so much. So in this room, I was going to be a bedroom in the beginning, but I decided to change it into a living area, like a little room that had like a TV in it. Only because the downstairs living room wasn't really a living room, and there wasn't going to be enough space for all the Sims to watch TV, which my Sims usually never watch TV, so I just added like another TV room up here just in case they do, and just in case I have my Sims entertaining other Sims, because it was going to be easier. And in the hallway was just left plain. On one of the walls on the sides, I do end up putting like a coffee table and something over there. And I think this room was easier to work with, even though if the bed was right by the door. I just, I didn't know where else I was going to put the bed. It was just, the only place I could think of at the time. And I don't know if this house was actually playable, and this house will probably not be for download either, not right now, because I don't know if all the custom content can be uploaded. I should have checked that, because I usually download houses. Wait, I think if I download houses and have the custom content, all my houses should be okay, because most of the custom content I got was from a custom house. So I guess I will put this up for download later on in the future. Not right now, because that means I have to go my game and try to get the house on the game thing. So the outside, I just added some plants and rocks and everything like that, because it was just going to be the best thing for me at the time, and it was going to be easier for me, because I didn't want to put a whole bunch of plants on the outside, because I didn't want them to not be able to walk outside. I didn't put anything on the deck because I didn't think there was any need for it, and I wanted to just be a garden area, but it didn't happen. I just wanted to add a whole bunch of plants here, and it really isn't a garden area, but if you guys decide to have this as a garden or put a pool back here, that's fine, you could do that. And I just went overkill with the plants, I think. But it looked good in the end when I added the rocks, which I do change anyways. But yeah, so since we're coming up to the end of the video, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys and thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave me a comment and tell me if you like this house, and like and favorite this video and subscribe. There will be more house videos in the future and more sim videos with now commentary. And so yeah, thank you guys once again. I will see you guys in the next video.